Good evening, everyone. We are the Gratitude Girls.
The Gratitude Girls are in the house. Hello, Lori. How are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you, Catherine?
Oh, I am great. I posted a picture tonight on our group so that we would be sitting in the pool on these little lounge chairs, sort of an avatar. And I thought I would let everyone know that, it's summertime and well, summertime where we are. I know it's summertime where you are. And I wanted to let everyone know that we're really up for the task of coaching and training throughout the summer, whether we're on the beach, whether we're in the house, out of the house. I thought it would be a really nice idea to let everyone know that they can just hop on their cell phones and check in with us and hear what we're going to talk about tonight. So no matter what you're doing on a Monday night, just pick up the phone and hop into one of the groups, or you'll get the notifications, and we'll talk to you for a few minutes about some things that are relevant to what's going on with business and networking in the summertime.
Yes, absolutely. Because we're always doing different things in the summertime, right? Like I was at the beach last week during the summer, right? And last year at this time, I was laying out by my pool. We change things, but
Look at that. Look at what a difference 365 days make. Who would have thunk? When we talk about business and change and how we embrace change and how we initiate that, how we lean into it, do we react and respond, or are we the initiators? I think you and I really set our intention when we were up on that stage the day that we both got our award. We both said that we wanted to travel the world together and have Gratitude Girls be all over. And we did that. Like we made sure our house, our business, everything that we would do, that we would be traveling and be connecting. We didn't know that 5 minutes before we ended up on that stage together.
right, exactly. Like when you lean into your purpose, though, it just opens for you that you could never imagine would be opened otherwise, right?
When we're talking about business and networking, and sometimes you're speaking to someone and there's a little bit of a resistance, like you can sense it, right? Or you can feel that there's just something maybe not right. Maybe it's the day, but you can feel when you're talking to someone and they're wide open and the possibilities are there, regardless if they're moving. I mean, I've been in the car moving on training calls. I've been following the moving truck. I've been moving into a house with headset, taking my calls. Like when you're open to something, and I know you have too. And it's not to say that, oh, we're so great and, other people are. And it's just to say that when you're committed, like you said, you tune into your purpose, you know that no matter what, you're going to do that. Nothing's going to get in the way. It's going to go. You're going to fly with it. You're going to talk to talk to the people, talk to your teams, talk to your customers and clients. And tonight we're doing something a little bit different. So I wanted to make an introduction to some of the people who maybe haven't had a chance to really get to know us the way others have. Let's start with, I'll do some geographic. So my name is Catherine Sarah Myers, affectionately known as Rara's in the House. And I am broadcasting to you live tonight from Niagara-on-the-Lake, Canada, Ontario, Canada. And I am here with my amazing international, lovely partner.
And I am Lori Delk-Radecki, and I am about an hour south of Nashville, Tennessee.
We want to tell you a quick story about why we're here and what the Gratitude Girls is all about. So you may be watching us tonight. We're broadcasting into 3 different places. So you're going to be catching us on our private group or in our group, or you're going to catch us on our business page. We're here because we are the Gratitude Girls and we've won an award. Lori's going to tell that story because she does it so well. And because we won that award, we developed a business and a business model. And over the last 9 years, we're in our 9th year, we decided that we were going to continue to build out this model and continue to provide value to you. So Lori, do you want to tell a little bit about what the Gratitude Girls are and how we were birthed?
Sure. So Catherine and I actually met on stage in front of thousands of people. So that's the quick short answer. But so Catherine and I are both in a direct sales company called Send Out Cards, and we both didn't even know each other at all. But in that company, our company has an international convention every single year. And at that convention, there's always a theme for the year. So back in 2013, the theme, it was 2012 to 2013 year, but that theme was gratitude. And so people are picked by their peers. So that means by the distributors and the customers and the company on who they think represents that theme the most. And that person wins that prize, that award for the year. So our CEO gets up on stage, he starts talking about, and he always is so great about, he gives all these different accolades and attributes of the person. And he always like starts out very generic, and then he gets a little bit more specific and a little bit more specific and a little bit more specific. So he called Catherine up on stage. So me, I am the techie person. So I'm like taking video, I'm taking pictures, doing all my stuff in the audience. And after Catherine says her little spiel and her thank you acceptance or whatever, then our CEO says, this time, for the first time ever in the company, there's a tie. And I believe it was the last time ever there was one also. And so he does the same thing again, starts giving the accolades and attributes of the person, and it gets a little bit more precise and precise. And I kept trying to think, wonder who he's going to call. I wonder who he's going to call. It could only be, and I got it down to like, okay, it can only be like these three people. It has to be one of these three. And it wasn't, it was me. And so he ended up calling my name. So I went up on stage. So Catherine and I literally met on stage in front of thousands of people. But when you are open to what God has for you, what the universe has for you, then you are ready to accept different things that happen. And so, like they say, you know, a lot of times love at first sight, you know, things like that. So this was like love at first sight as gratitude partners, as business partners, as friends. And we decided that there's no coincidences. And we knew that there was a reason and a purpose for this. And we didn't know why yet, but we birthed Gratitude Girls. Of course, I had my phone, so I had bought gratitudegirls.com. That instant, we owned it. And here we are now, 9 years later.
It's amazing. And Lori, I remember when I was on stage and how I even got there, I was sort of shaking, right? Just to get up there. It was part of my I am statements. And when I heard your name, I remember thinking, I'm going to meet Lori Delk, because you had really received the most accolades in our company for gift giving. You received awards for giving more gifts than anyone else. And I remember thinking to myself, what would it be like to receive a gift from Lori Delk? At that time, Lori Delk, now Lori Delk. And when I saw you coming up, I thought, I'm going to get to meet Lori. Like, it was almost like it was only me and you were coming up and we were meeting each other and no one else there existed, because it was really very surreal. And I remember how I got to that stage. You know, do you remember what we did like the whole year prior to that? In my own life, in my own world, I started to send a card a day to honor my parents. My parents are no longer with us, and it was their wedding anniversary. So I decided to honor them when the gratitude challenge, so to speak, started. And I was sending a card, and every time I did hit that send button, I thought, I'm honoring my parents. And by doing that, this is what the result was. So you talk about leaning into it, knowing what your purpose is. Nothing could stop me from hitting the send button. Nothing and no one could stop me from sending a card, because that card is to honor my parents. It could be to honor you because something happened to you, but at the same time, in my heart, it is so that I could keep their legacy alive. And when you do something from your core purpose and then you get rewarded for it. And here we are 9 years later with this business. Now, recently we decided to do something a little bit less than a month ago, because our clients were asking us, you know, what do I do? So talk about, how do you do things? We are posting every single day 5 things that we're grateful for. Now, you may look at our social media and wonder, what are these two people doing? Why do I care? We care that you can see the transparency. of how we live our lives and how we encourage you to write the 5 things that you're grateful for. So if you're not sure where to find that, you can go onto our social media pages, onto our Gratitude Girls, Girls Who Love to Practice Gratitude Every Day. You're in a private coaching. For me, you can go on my LinkedIn and Instagram. I do not follow the rules on what you're supposed to use LinkedIn for. I am sharing our 5 points. Like, we each have our own. We don't talk about it. We don't discuss it. We post it. So if you want to know a little bit more, maybe Laura, you want to give your take on why we're doing that and what that's about?
Yeah, exactly. So one of the things, so Catherine and I, so 9 years ago, we started where we do a show the fourth Tuesday night of every single month. And we always feature another person. It's usually a girl, but we featured a few guys because technically we are the Gratitude Girls, right? But anyways, we feature someone that, and we talk about sharing gratitude, something in their life story, sharing gratitude. In that, we had so many people asking us to coach them, to help them with different things. And Catherine has her own coaching company. I've had my own coaching company for many years. So we decided, why not have 2 coaches for the price of one? So we started Gratitude Girls Coaching, private coaching and training. And so we've been doing that over a year now. And so we have that group. We have a small group of people, plus we have some private clients. And so, starting those 2 things, we have always taught people, before you go to bed, the most important thing you do throughout your entire day is in that 15 minutes before you go to bed. What you put in your head rests and twirls around in your mind while you sleep. So, you better put something good in it. So, write down 5 things that you are grateful and thankful for. And now, when we teach that, we teach, most people are grateful for the house they live in, their job, their car, their kids, their spouse, their partner, whatever. But it's not that. We teach things that you're grateful for that specific day, specific and in detail, that happened to you, that you got, whatever, but specific and in detail, 5 things. And if you write that down every single day before you go to bed, then when those hard times come, because no matter what race, religion, financial bracket, anything that you are, those hard times are going to come. You can look back at that book, and that will help lift you out of a depression or a sadness or a tragedy. It's not going to make it perfect. It's not going to make it better, but it will help you to at least keep your spirits up. And so many people would ask us, I don't know what to write. What do you mean? And ask us for examples. And so we just decided that we were going to be completely transparent, raw and real, and just, instead of just sharing it with our private coaching and training clients, we're sharing it with the world, because everybody needs to have a gratitude journal and write their gratitude every single day, because it will help you to get through anything that you'll go through.
So well said, Lori. And the funny thing about this is the transparency that you actually, if you look into it, you know when we go to bed at night, because we are writing this before we go to bed. So I remember, I think it was last night, it was like 12:01. I thought, I better post this before midnight because it's going to be the next day. So we are doing exactly that. Before we close our eyes, we're writing this. Now, you might think, is it hard? It's not hard if you tell yourself that's what you're going to do. It's not hard when you have help. My husband will say to me, "You're going to write in your gratitude journal now?" Yes. And he usually tells me, "I'll go look tomorrow on LinkedIn and I'll like it." So he'll wait until I write it, and then the next day he'll go and he'll like it. But I have support. Imagine if I was sort of struggling with, like, what are you doing with the phone, or shouldn't put the phone in. It is a commitment. We decided, we supported as a couple, that that's what I'm doing. I am writing those 5. I don't jot them down earlier. I write them in real time. Because it makes a difference how you feel at 2 in the afternoon than how you feel at 10 or 11 or whatever time you go to bed. Sometimes I go to sleep late and wake up early. It's ridiculous. But whatever it really is, it's who I am. So if you want to know a little bit more about Lori and I, do this little experiment. So follow us for a week. Read and then watch what happens in our life without us even trying. The similarities of what goes on in our lives in two different countries without planning it is uncanny. So if you don't want to watch TV, don't. Just read what we do every night because it is like a show. Sometimes I read what Lori did and I think, oh my gosh, that was my life yesterday or 3 days ago. That's what happened. It's so amazing when you do understand your purpose and that you're not afraid. I'm not afraid to write what happens in my life. I'm not scared or worried or thinking I'm going to offend someone. We leave names out. We don't name people. Sometimes we tag them because we want them to get recognition because we're really happy for that. But we're writing down what truly happens in our life and how it affects us. And they're not pitches, they're not sales pitches, like I'm so happy for that. We are writing what's in our hearts. And if that is something that you can resonate with, if it resonates with you and you write one day of a journal, then we've done our job. If you wanted, I don't know how many days we're going to keep this public for. We haven't even discussed that, Laura. You can let me know what you think. So we post the same picture on each of our profiles. It's a picture of Lori and I, and then we write the 5 things. So when you look at my profile, you'll see Lori and I. Lori, when you look at it, she's on the left, I'm on the right, and you'll see the same for Lori. So eventually, you might want to go back and forth and see what happens. Again, they're unscripted. So if you can do that for yourself 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, whether it's public or in your private book, then we have given you the example of leading through example by example. And then you tell us what happens because I go back and I read them and I feel really good because some days, you take a hit, right? Like you take a hit emotionally or spiritually or physically, or you're just like, my legs are killing me. I did so much walking. I'm so tired. I don't know what else I can do. And then I go back and I read, yes, I was really excited about my weight or my exercise. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to do it. So you can encourage yourself even when you're having, a tough day. And then if someone else is on board, like Lori and I are doing this together, and our husbands are supporting us, that feels like a whole team. It feels like a whole tribe supporting us because when we turn around, we have each other and we know that we're doing it. So maybe you want to join in and do that for yourself. And if you choose, tag us, tag Gratitude Girls. So hashtag Gratitude Girls. Let us know that you too are doing your gratitude journal. If you want to do it on publicly, then by all means, let us know what method you're using. I mean, obviously, LinkedIn is for business, but I'm doing it anyway. Instagram, I'm doing the same thing, and Facebook, we're doing it on Facebook. That's just my thing. I'm a gratitude girls. I'm not a gratitude girls on LinkedIn. That's what I'm doing. So yeah, we've got people following and watching and talking and communicating. And I think we start out by telling you, get a book and write it privately. So that's sort of what we'll tell you first. But if you're a millennial and you don't want a book and pen and paper, then just take your phone and go right ahead and post it. I really have a lot to say that I can go back and digitally read this at any time because I have my book. And when I go back and read my book, I love to do that. There's no question. I love to have my book in my hand, but sometimes I'm in the car, and I just can't grab that book with me. So I get to really look at it. And Lori, let's talk a little bit about the fun we've both been having with hashtags. So when I first started, I did the hashtags at the end, like, okay, then I decided on every paragraph, I will hashtag keywords. And now I see you're hashtagging the words you're so fancy. You're hashtagging the words in your sentence. Talk to us a little bit about your fancy hashtags.
I do. So, people do searches for hashtags, right? They look for things on social media by a hashtag. And so, in marketing, you can use hashtags to be, looking for different things or to go after certain markets or whatever. But also, I decided to start doing them because we're attracting more people to Gratitude Girls that way. One, we're, on a business side, I mean, Gratitude Girls is still technically nonprofit. Our coaching side is for profit, obviously. Our company is nonprofit. But still, how great is it to spread gratitude in the world, right? And so when you hashtag the different things that you do, it's going to show up in different people's feeds. It's going to show up in different people's places, or other people are going to find it, and all different kinds of ways and all different kinds of things. So you're going after a different audience. And if we could bring gratitude to more and more and more people, to spread gratitude, how much better is the world, right? So the world has been different for the last year, right? Year and a half. And especially here we've got the United States, we've got Canada, both right here in the house. And if we can spread more gratitude throughout both countries greatly, how much of a difference can that make in the world?
I love that. And we're playing around with different things. So you'll read what we're doing. There's no wrong and there's no right. It's having fun, right? Like we're really having fun what we're doing. I mean, some of the hashtags I make up full sentences, like that's what we do sometimes. Like that's probably not a hashtag anywhere else. So it's okay. I'll just type that in there so that we can also make it look different. And if you have some ideas when you write if you're doing it digitally, of course, on social media, if you want to tell us some of the hashtags that you have, let us know, share them with us, because you can send us a message. It depends on which group you're in right now. So Lori, let's go over how we can get messages about Gratitude Girls and our journals and their journals and their list, because I think you have better handle on it than I do at this moment.
Yes, absolutely. So if you want to send us a message, go to facebook.com/gratitude girls. Make sure to like our page if you haven't yet. And right there, hit message. And when you send that, it goes to Catherine and I both. So make sure you leave your contact information. So the best way we could get back with you. So we always reply to everyone that sends us a message. And, and something else I just thought of that I wanted to add really quick was, so Catherine and I have been both writing in our gratitude journal for over 9 years, right? So I started actually back in 2009, but then I added even more things to it once Catherine and I started doing it together in 2013. So, we tweak things, right? The older we get, the more we learn, the better we get, right? We tweak things to get even better. And so, but that's it. Think about this now. So we've both got these books that we could go back to, we could read. I mean, I never throw mine out. Of course, my husband teases me about how much I don't ever throw out. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. So, but think about this of, when Catherine was just talking about like millennials that's not going to want to write it on paper, they're going to want to do it digitally. And you can do it digitally. You could do it privately on your phone and notes, or your WordPad, or whatever kind of computer you use. But think about this. If you do it publicly, one day when you're gone, and other people who love you can go back to your page and they can read about your life. They can put themselves back in that place. And it's almost like an autobiography, right? All right there in order. And how cool is that? And how cool is that one day,
yes,
your grandchildren that maybe never got to know you could look back and remember you and read the story of your life and read how different or cool or interesting or crazy or whatever that your life was. But I just thought of that, and I thought when you were saying that earlier, I just thought, how cool would that be one day?
Well, Laura, thank you for saying that, because that's like writing a book, a paragraph at a time, and publishing it before you have anybody check it. So if you put 30 days of our gratitude writing. We list 5 things a day. If we put that all in like a book, for example, we could say 30 days of gratitude. So what we're doing is we're actually publishing it. Like sometimes there's a spelling mistake and I go back and then I find it 3 days later, whatever it is. So instead of writing a book and waiting for that big reveal, every day it's a paragraph. Just hang on to that, or, hop on that with us. See what it feels like. It's a great thought that one day someone else who maybe didn't really get to know us will know us based on our writings. Where will it live? Well, mine's going to be on Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook. So unless all of those 3 platforms go away, that's where it will be digitally. Perhaps we can create another space or place that we can, share that with you. And I'm sure if you have any ideas, if you're in marketing and you're watching this, if you have some other platform ideas, then get with us, talk to us, because we'd like to make sure that you have a place to put your legacy and share your paragraph a day. Everyone says, I'm writing a book. Yes, write a book. We're writing a paragraph a day, 5 paragraphs a day. That's what we do. And at the end of 30 days, I guess we're going to have 1,500 paragraphs. I hope I did that math real quick. And that's at 30 days. I don't know. Lori and I seem to do things for a pretty long time. So I don't know that we're going to stop after 30 days on this. I'm not too sure where we'll shift, out. Maybe we'll be talking about it. Maybe you'll have to go grab us on YouTube. Maybe you'll get a live 5 minutes a day on our gratitude. I'm not too sure where that's going to go, but we won't stop doing it. You know what Cody says, don't stop until the world listens. So we're definitely not stopping, and the world is listening. So I'm really grateful that we're doing this together, Lori. And to our private clients, we want to invite you. So if you're watching right now and you're wondering, Lori, is it that time? Should I look at the clock? Yes.
Yep, it is. Very
Okay. Awesome. Right. We want to invite you to what we call our private dining room, which is our private Zoom room. So do you want to talk a little bit about that, or do you want to leave it a mystery?
Yes. So if you have not ever been in our private dining room, we want to formally invite you. So if you don't know what that is, go to gratitudegirls.com/coaching. And right there, you can find out all about our private coaching and training group, as well as the personal one-on-one, technically 2-on-1, because you get 2 coaches for the price of 1 coaching. So go there, check that out, read more information. If you have questions, once again, facebook.com/gratitudegirls. You can send us a message there to ask us questions. But if you are in our private coaching and training group, you know the link, you know the drill. So you can go ahead and click on. And as soon as we click off here in 1 more minute, then we will be in the private dining room with you.
Yes, thank you so much. We'll be here every Monday night at 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central, 6:30 Mountain, and 5:30 Pacific. We'll be here for tops 30 minutes, maybe sometimes 15 minutes, so you can catch us every Monday night. And all of these videos, all of these lives will live right here in the group that you're watching it. So you'll be able to access that. We do look forward to speaking with you, seeing you, Zooming with you. And for those of us who can get together, we really look forward to getting together with you. Lori, from my heart to yours, I am very grateful tonight. I am going to write about you in one of my 5 gratitude things that I'm grateful for.
Awesome. Yes, I am very grateful for you too. And thank you so much, everyone. We are grateful for you watching us, tuning in with us, and seeing us each week. Good night, everyone.
Good night.